Hello and welcome to Dedicated to Wrestling. This will be Slow News Saturday episode 8, and it might be a little bit of a shorter one than usual today, as pretty much all the worthwhile and big news stories have been covered by myself throughout the week, and I've just left the kind of not so worth their own videos, a little piece of news for this, which there wasn't a lot of this week, because most of it was surrounding Seth Rollins' injury and whatsoever. If you don't know what we do here, just check the description and it will explain it all for you. Getting straight on to the first piece of news we got, it comes from last week's Royal Rumble and Tye Dillinger. Of course, he came out at number 10 in the Royal Rumble for that huge pop, and it led a lot of people to believe that he's going to get called up now or very, very soon. But there is currently no plans to call Tye Dillinger up whatsoever. The only reason he came out at number 10 in the Royal Rumble was basically purely because they wanted to make the fans happy and for him to get that pop and that well-deserved kind of entrance on the main roster. But as of coming up to the main roster permanently, there is currently no plans whatsoever for that to happen. They still want to keep him down in NXT until they feel it's time he's ready to come up. And while we're speaking of Tye Dillinger, there was rumours that Vince McMahon wasn't happy with his Royal Rumble performance. It literally only said that on a few websites. He wasn't happy with it and he plans to punish him. But the good news is this was coming from not very newsworthy and reliable sources in wrestling. No noteworthy wrestling sites were reporting this whatsoever, so it's probably likely to just be clickbait and he's perfectly fine. Moving on to our next bit of news is about Emmalina. Now, of course, who was formerly known as Emma, she's been having return promos airing since October in the WWE, and there's been rumours like kind of every few weeks, at least every month or so, that they are planning to bring her up now. I know just before the Royal Rumble, they said they were waiting until after the Royal Rumble to do it, because it was a bit awkward to put her in before the Royal Rumble. But Dave Meltzer has confirmed, unfortunately, I have to say, that there's currently no plans to bring Emma to the main roster whatsoever, and the whole vignettes that are airing every week is just becoming a running joke within the company, which I feel is completely disrespectful to her. There's plenty of room for her on the Raw roster right now. I mean, the Raw roster practically revolves around Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley and Nia Jax right now. I think they're planning for all those people to be in a fatal four-way at WrestleMania. That's the big rumor anyway. So, like, I can kind of see why they don't want to bring Emma up, because they wouldn't have anyone to feud her with. But please, for the love of God, just, you have other female superstars on Raw, I'm pretty sure. Just have her feud with somebody, because at the moment it's just becoming an absolute joke, and she deserves better than to be treated like this, basically. All you have to do is look at any of her videos on WWE about her coming back, and the like to dislike ratio is insane. It really is a running joke now, and the fact that the company is treating it like a running joke, for me, is completely disrespectful to Emma, and hopefully she gets her debut very soon. But at the moment, according to Dave Meltzer, that's not going to happen. There are no plans. Getting on to even more disappointing news as far as I'm concerned, and one that makes me even more furious, and it kind of touches upon my rant I had about Brock Lesnar and Goldberg main eventing WrestleMania last week, is that Dave Meltzer has confirmed, once again Dave Meltzer bringing me the info, that there are currently no worthwhile plans for Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania, and it could even be as bad as Dean Ambrose competing on the pre-show at WrestleMania. That makes me absolutely livid. Dean Ambrose on the pre-show, of WrestleMania is just ridiculous. He's carried SmackDown with AJ Styles, with The Miz, ever since the draft, and the fact they have nothing, absolutely nothing for him on the biggest stage of all is an insult, because he's easily one of the top 5 guys in the company right now. But of course, it's WrestleMania, so Vince loves to focus on part-timers. He's making sure Goldberg and Brock Lesnar in a match. He's got to make sure Triple H is in a match. Yet Somebody like Dean Ambrose, who works his arse off 365 days a year in the ring, may be relegated to the pre-show because they have nothing for him, and even more insulting because he's the Intercontinental Champion. That championship should be on the WrestleMania card, the main card, without question. And if it's not going to be on the main card, that's a huge, huge problem. Just have him defended against Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler in a triple threat. I mean, that would be entertaining. Throw in a stipulation match, no DQ maybe. That would be entertaining as hell. Just don't relegate him to the preview show after his last WrestleMania match against Brock Lesnar, which was a colossal disappointment. He deserves a hell of a lot more this time around, and hopefully he gets it. On to the last piece of news now, and it kind of touches on what I've already talked about in a previous video, but it's just kind of confirming this rumor and saying that there is no current plans to change it, and that is Goldberg is scheduled to win the Universal Championship from Kevin Owens at WWE Fastlane. It's either at the end of this month or next month it is, but yes, they are going ahead with that, and Goldberg will beat Kevin Owens and likely beat him in a rematch, I guess, on Raw. And Goldberg will be facing Brock Lesnar in the main event of WrestleMania, bar any last minute changes of heart from Vince McMahon, which I pray he does, but let's be honest, Goldberg, Brock Lesnar for the Universal title, he sees money in that, even though nobody else wants them to fight for the Universal title. But that's Vince for you. Vince McMahon, classic, genius sometimes, and an absolute dumbass so many other times. I'm not going to get into my rant on that. What will be, will be. I just hope Kevin Owens gets something good from WrestleMania, and Brock Lesnar and Goldberg isn't as much of a disappointment as their first WrestleMania match. That's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you for watching. I will be back on Monday, barring there's any big breaking news tomorrow, then I will of course bring that to you. Thank you for watching episode 8 of Slow News Saturday. This has been dedicated to wrestling. Until next time.